For example, just don't go and hold bully, rope everything to your hold and arms, showing that you're helping material there. Be an
Right.
officer. Don't be a Jawan here. How I used to write was, do you guys remember, like, we used to write science experiments on a lab book. For example, aim. Then you write materials required. Then you used to write
Right.
procedure. Then you write conclusion. Trust me, follow the same thing here. The narration was 1.5 minutes, but it went 3 minutes. It went up to 6 minutes. It was so melodious. To my friends were telling like, भाई तू क्या बोला ना, मस्त बोला. To be honest, they loved the part. Just 5 days are very fast. You would not know how fast it goes.
Exactly.
आपको लगता है कि यार हर दिन एसएसबी का एग्जाम हो जाए यार, मस्त मजा आ जाएगा.
Hello friends, welcome back to Defense Roger and I hope you're doing good. My name is Sheetal Yadav and in today's interview we have Yashwant with us. Yashwant is a two-time recommended candidate. He got his first recommendation in his second attempt for Indian Coast Guard and scored All India Rank 4. And in his third attempt he had scored All India Rank 1 for SSC TECH Entry for Indian Army. So let's welcome Yashwant to our platform Defense Roger. Moving to the GTO part, GTO is one of my favorite. So starting with the indoor activities that are being conducted like GD and GPE, what is your take on that? So how was it when you went for your SSB?
Yeah. So first I want to portray the Coast Guard's the GTO task. So fortunately, when I went to Coast Guard examination, there was no physical things like no GPE, no PGT, no HGT, no IOR because they were renovating the things there. It was a new SSB center in FSB Noida, and we had only the group discussion parts and GPE parts, and the individual narration part. Apart from it, there was nothing there. So I would want to pass on Coast Guards. I would want to come now, but now in Coast Guard everything is there. For I was so that everything was under construction, so they didn't do it. But now it's completely filled and they are doing according to the norms. So coming to Allahabad and now the things, the first thing to be kept in mind while going to GTO is you need to be physically fit, guys.
For sure.
GTO includes, you have to, lift yourself up, lift the weights, you have to carry yourself, jump, run. You have to do some task in time which requires, some physical fitness. So I would recommend people who are coming to SSBs, to start some minor physical activities like running, jogging, to keep themselves flexible so that it would be easy for them while doing, some of the tasks in GTO tasks like, groups, the snake race or individual obstacle race. Now, these are the things which require some physical stamina. And also which has to be done in a separate amount of time. So coming to my GTO task, Sheetal, the day started early in the morning at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. where we were rushed in the cold winters of Allahabad. Trust me, in that cold winters, if you're not physically fit and you don't have to run, you don't run, and it will be very much difficult because your feet will be numb, your whole body will be numb, you can't feel anything. Because my SSB was around November that time. And it was I'm cold, I was not able to wake up also. So it's better you take a very hot shower so that you get yourself warmed up, do some running and go to GTO task. The day one starting with, there is GD1 and GD2. There is group discussion 1 and group discussion 2. The group discussion 1, we got two topics, we have to choose. First thing was, India and China relationship. And the second thing was, about G20. Right. So, we chose, coming to the concises, we chose, India and China relationship, coming to the fact. So again, I follow the mantra here, whenever I'm talking in GD, whenever I'm giving my points, right. I always stick to the situations given by, GTO sir. He always stress upon three things, why it happened, either to point 1, point 2, point 3, agreed and why. So I gave my point, and for each and every point, I had what led to situation, what is the situation, and what can be done. So, for example, when I saw what Indo-China, task, generally we started on speaking. There are few people who directly speak negative that we need to ban China. It is a very negative thing on speaking about some parts because the whole world economy runs on bilateral relations, guys.
Exactly.
Fighting will never give fruitful results to anyone. Because China is a superpower. So, because China is the biggest importer and exporter of the world. And maintaining relationship with one of the biggest country will definitely boost our economy.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean that if you fight against them, win against them, that means that it is a loss somewhere around the other. For example, when I spoke on GD, I started with, how India-China started, like the Sino-Indian War, then, 1962 wars, then the Doklam issue, then the Sikkim, infiltration. first I gave what was the situation before and what is the current situation now. For example, now the Galwan clash happened. How we are
Right.
developing how we are developing the situation in line of actual control, and what are the steps we have taken to to develop the eastern states. That's how the China is particular about.
Right.
And the second thing was, whenever particular candidate told that we need to ban China, you don't have to disagree to the fact. You don't have to scream at him. You have to just answer him with a smile that for example, if when I gave him stating the fact that whatever we are wearing right now or we are using right now in day-to-day life, somehow or the other thing there will be a China included in
China.
it.
Exactly.
Maybe
China.
a laptop, for example, I'm using a phone to speak to you, speaking, a laptop, maybe Apple or anything, Xiaomi or any phone, maybe a smartwatch. There is a China product included in it. Doesn't mean that we need to abolish China in it. So we need to take, facts in a very dignified way, how we can, improve relations. For example, sending in more dignitaries, solving it in a higher, external ministerial affair. So we need to speak on that, high noble values where actually things can get better.
Exactly.
Rather than, speak in a GD, if we speak that no, we need to get in war with China and finish off things. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. Things won't change for us. That means that we keep on fighting and we keep on negative things. Rather than that, I stressed upon this. And second thing is, in the end, how I spoke was how we the youths, can come forward so that we use, we can develop more ties with China. For example, we are using a lot of Chinese technologies, right? Any Chinese technology, maybe it is new, maybe it is cheap,
Right.
because we are using it. How much is is we as a youth, we are skilled enough because we are the second most populous country after China. That means that
Now it is
we are
first. Now we have succeeded China also in terms.
now if we are not succeeded means then we have the same strength, same minds, people working here, and trust me, 60% of we are youths are here. So whatever China is doing, we can do 10x more here. We
Right.
can be the next China. So that is how I give examples. For example, now everything is moving after the post COVID, all the factories are coming to India. We are giving them subsidies. That means that employment is increasing. The skill, the upskilling is increasing. So that's what is stressed upon. How we need to be upskilled enough. How we can preach education. So when I bring on different topics, that people tend to listen when we are telling the topic. Apart from that, you don't have to stress upon more things, the same thing, repeat. And in GD, don't repeat things again and again. If a person has told one thing, it is done, then move on it. Move. For example, if we are speaking, then don't have to define it. Like Sheetal, I don't agree with you. Like Sheetal, I agree with you. Adding to your point, I want to add my point.
Right.
Always continue the motion. Don't break the motion. When you break the motion, then it will go somewhere else. So GD1 and GD2 are those important aspects in how you inculcate your thoughts into different people, and also how active listener you are.
Right.
That also plays a major role in GD. GD means, for example, if a person is telling an important point and he has told, and you are telling something different apart from it, then it doesn't make any sense. So it's how active listener you are also plays a major role, and how actively you put up your points. That also plays a major role here. So after GD, then we move on to the the major that is PGT, progress rules called HGT. Both are the same things, half group task, progressive group task, and then we are divided into different groups, and we do that. So PGT, HGT, and FGT, these are normal tasks. For example, see here, you don't know what the things are and the blocks are. Just go with the group. Don't become a neta here. For example, just don't go and hold balli, rope everything to your hold and arms, showing that you're helping material there. Be an officer. Don't be a Jawan here. They are looking out for not for Jawans. Be an officer. An officer does think like an officer. That is a major thing. You have to think like an officer. We have to surpass here. You have time limits going on. Just make sure that whatever the objects are there with you, start moving. Move with the group. I have seen people, they want to, no, give me balli, give me that board, give me that board, I will do that, I will do this. But when they go and stand there, they are blank.
Exactly.
When they are blank, right, they don't have anything to tell.
Exactly.
So we are wasting your time, your group's time. So if someone has idea, go with them and help that guy. Don't break. If you have any idea, execute that idea. Don't just stop yourself and keep it yourself in your mind. So always speak out your idea. Don't see the GTO. GTO will be looking whenever. That's why they're wearing the famous aviators when the GTOs. So they know whom to look after. So make
Right.
sure that you give the best impression. And at the same time, the more you speak in your GD and then the more you points, the more you listen to the GD points and everything, then you have made a good impression on GTO. That means that he'll look after you then. It is
Exactly.
not that you remain silent in one and you perform really well in second. So you have to be very consistent in all the things. So this PGT FGT is a group task. Always teamwork is more important. Here, please don't be selfish. It is the worst things. It will be a disaster for everyone there.
Right.
Then coming to after FGT, then we either move into GP, group planning exercise. Trust me, guys, it's one of the more intellectual tasks where I can tell, and the most enjoyable task because you're given actual map. You become an officer for a moment of time and you solve things. Something is going on. In GP, always remember, guys, the priorities set for the things which is done. For example, for any map, we had got a map. We have to reach a basketball ground, and we are stuck in a bridge. We see a child drowning. We see a woman asking for help. We see a train coming in the railway track. See, these problems are very common. It's a way how you prioritize. Always remember, guys, you are graduates. Please ensure that you use formulas like speed is equal to distance by time. Always solve things by priorities. Okay, and always be intelligent. Please use the helping material available here in the like bus, public transport, and everything. So whenever you write in your sheet, please write like for example, whenever I'll give a small a helping material for people who are going for SSBs. How I used to write was, do you guys remember we used to write science experiments on a lab book? For example, aim. Then you write materials required. Then you used to write procedure. Then you write conclusion. Trust me, follow the same thing here. And trust me, you can inculcate this problem very beautifully. How I wrote was, aim is to reach my basketball court. Materials we have is my bus and my people around here. And the procedure is how I used to solve my priorities. Priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in that conclusion, I reached.
This is something new.
If you use this one, the thing is, you are so very systematic here. And you won't have any confusion. Right? When you do like this is the very easiest thing to solve. Just go with science experiment basics part and you can solve these problems. And while you're discussing, it will be a fish market, guys. No matter what, it will be a fish market because either a fresher or a repeater, and there will be some time when no one will speak. So always put up your points. Please tell that what are the helping materials required. However, you wrote in the lab the examination paper they give you, like what is the aim material. Go by that. Go solve by priorities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the more you speak, the more you adjourn people. The more you use your confidence. The more you be modulative toward throughout the discussion. They will definitely nominate you. Even in my discussion, I was nominated in both the times, even in Coast Guard and even in Allahabad also. Even I spoke for 5 to 6 points. The way I put up my points was very, on to the point, and there was no repetitive. In GD, everyone will repeat, GP, repeat. Don't repeat. Tell new points, move on. And that's it. GP, you can solve it. That's for day 1. In day 2, again, you start with your individual obstacle race.
Right.
That's why I told the first thing they'll do 6 o'clock, 6:15, they'll call you there. And you have to, there'll be 10 obstacles. That's why I tell you be physically fit because there will be jumping involved, there'll be running involved, there'll be leaping involved, there'll be holding the rope and swinging involved. So that means your upper body strength and lower body strength, perfectly. So exactly. So you have to carry, be physically fit to clear this. You can do some, you have to do 10 obstacles. If you can do more because it will increase your marks anyways. So I don't have much to tell about this, individual obstacle race. It's very fun if you if you're into sports and everything. Try to be physically fit. You can do that. And next thing was snake race. You go in a group. There also you require physical fitness. You have to take the group. It's like a more of a fun race where you're competing with other GTO members also. There you feel like then you'll have a war drive for yourself.
Exactly.
Exam once in a lifetime opportunity where you want to you become actually a soldier there, reaching towards your goal. So it's very funny. There also you will be involved of leaping, jumping, wall climbing, wall jumping.
One of my interest areas is your command task. You mentioned that it was like 1 hour command task. So can you?
Trust me, the only thing which I enjoyed in Allahabad was command task. After this, everything was over. The command task and individual narration was left. Then we started with the command task. First was called by some other repeater candidate. Then they called me. In my thing, they had 2 GTOs. Our assessing our group. So one was a lady officer, one was a male officer. So the male officer called me, and you have a very informal interview happens there with every GTO. So he started with Yashwant, you're working in a very good company, you're getting more than 1 lakh salary. Then why armed forces, man? If I was in your place, I would have happily worked there. You are the only son to your family. Then why coming here and pushing your boundaries? Do this, do that. Then I had to give him some formal explanation. Why me? Why would I go here? All this explanation. Then we started with the command task. Then he told bring 2 people. Then I told I'll be calling test number X and test number Y. Pose he asked, why these test numbers? Are they your friends? Then I told, sir, they are my friends exactly, but I called them because one is very lean and one is fat, because I would need someone to be a holding material, helping material for me. So if he's fat, he can hold the bully. If he's lean, he can jump really fast. So I was very analytically using this. When I was coming to GTO task, there were 5 moving structures like an X mark. But see, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I'm doomed. It is very difficult thinking on my own mind. So once I start doing it, was carry on. I did it in one way. It took me some 5 minutes, and I was done using helping materials. I thought, okay, अरे तो easy finish हो गया. GTO गिल भी नहीं किया है ना, हो गया, खत्म हो गया अभी. I think I am done with GTO. Then the GTO, once I come to finish, and he told me, GTO, अरे you are using the rope now, throw it apart. Now think that you don't have to use the rope. Now come back in the same way without using the rope. Then the things started getting difficult. He told you can't use a moving object right now. Use a rigid subject. Then he changed the colors of blue. Abhi blue jo hai, blue white ho gaya, white blue ho gaya. Then how you will do? He was putting mentals, and I did it. I came back in one way. Then he told go diagonally. You have to use a diagonal method only, and that is the only thing. And now what you have to do is you have to carry the helping materials. Your subordinates just follow you. And at that point I was stuck कि कुछ पता ही नहीं मेरे को क्या करना था, because time was running and I thought कि GTO बोलेगा कि हाँ, I got your idea, let's move ahead. And he was never telling that. कि हाँ, move ahead. He was waiting for me to do the things. Then at some point I was very blank. He told that कि if you want help, you can use the subordinates also help. Then it is a golden opportunity for me. Trust me, when a GTO tells that you can use help, please use it. Doesn't mean that he's giving you low marks. He is giving you one more helping material.
Right.
Use it wisely. Asked my friends, they gave me some ideas. Then we move ahead. Then I had to come back in the same way. Then go back. I had to done that, doing the circles 5 times. It took more than 1 hour for me. And everyone was like, "What kya ho raha hai idhar?" And every situation was followed, like changing the colors. For example, I'm using a plank right now. He told, don't use the plank right now. Use rope as a helping material. Then he had to told, don't carry the load there. You have to carry the load in different ways. So they were all types of analytical things. And main thing, Shital, I want to describe here. Whenever there was a point where I kept a cantilever on a force, he told what kind of force acting on the cantilever.
All right.
Like civil engineering. That too while doing when I didn't know what, I told him there was a point where I was confused. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to move next. At that time, he was putting me stress. Like, for example, you're putting the load there, putting your foot there. What is the actual force that's going upon? Is it resistive force? Is it upward force? Inward force? He was asking me, different scientific questions. And the way I was not seeing him just answering by looking at my rope.
Right.
I don't know whether it was right or wrong. He was saying, go ahead, go. Okay. He was just telling okay. And he was asking questions at the meantime. This is how my command task finished. And last to end the discussion, we started by individual narration.
Right.
Mine was test number 9 and I was the last guy in the repeaters batch. In Allahabad, they gave from 1 to 9 repeaters, then freshers and screen outs for the next. Okay. Mine, I got sports in India. Being a sports person, I was very lucky to get that thing. Exactly. And trust me, the narration was 1.5 minutes, but it went 3 minutes. It went up to 6 minutes. It was so melodious. To my friends were telling like, "Bhai, tu kya bola na? Mast bola." To be honest, they loved the part. How I started my narration was to asking about my friends like sports in India. I told them, guys, everybody know cricket here. If I ask you who is Anil Kumble, you will tell yes. If I ask you who is MS Dhoni, everyone will tell where does he stay, where is he from, who is his wife, what's his daughter's name also. Then I told, do you guys know who is Sunil Chetri? They told no. It was I kept it very interactive because individual, narration में क्या होता है ना, you have to be very specific. Then I spoke about Sunil Shetty. He he shared the stage with this, two renowned players like Ronaldo and Messi, of international highest goal scorers. Then coming back to the topic, then again was sports in India. How was the situation before? For example, we played Olympics in barefoot. Major Dhyan Chand, I give examples of major of hockey. Now, what are the achievements in sports? Then, what is the body of sport, like Sports Authority of India? What is the current situation right now? For example, government is taking steps like Halo India movement, upskilling people in different, in sports especially, and how infrastructure has been developed in different rural areas and bring up the talents. For example, nobody knew Neeraj Chopra unless and until won gold.
Exactly. Nobody knew what is javelin throw.
I also don't know. Nobody knew. He had won medals in Commonwealth also before, but nobody knew Neeraj Chopra.
Exactly.
Once he got the gold, like everyone is like javelin throw.
Exactly.
For example, Abhinandan, who was a shooter, nobody knew him unless he won the gold.
Right.
So that is how they advertise people. But that's why me in India, I told him what we can do, how we can youth can support sports, how we can grow in sports, not just cricket. We are very good in different sports like athletics, like hockey, kabaddi, etc. So that we can grow ourselves. So this is how I concluded by telling what we as a youth can do. So that's how I focused. I planned upon telling the things like what led to situation, what is the situation of sports in India, what is the outcome of sports in India, and what can be done better. And I was the last. They were also enjoying. I thought I was the last guy to tell, na. So they were also enjoying it. Went on 5 minutes. Then I told he rang the bell. Then he didn't rang the bell. After that, he continued. Then we finished our GTO, and this is how GTO class ended. And I enjoyed.
GTO section is very interactive, and it is very fun. Your GTO journey was something, I feel like listening it more. So moving ahead, coming to the conference, generally people feel nervous, before the conference. Did you felt it? And did you expected you will get recommendation, before, even though you were already recommended? So
see, I didn't have expectation that I would get recommended this time. There was no, I just performed my best. I enjoyed the process.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of friends I met. I made new friends. हम गप्पे शप्पे कर रहे थे. Not about SSB, outside world. कि ये करेंगे, खेल रहे थे, कूद रहे थे. 5 days those 5 days are very fast. You would not know how fast it goes.
Exactly.
आपको लगता है कि यार हर दिन SSB का एग्जाम हो जाए यार, मस्त मजा आ जाएगा. पूरा दिन जिंदगी काट जाते हैं. You can the whole 5 days are very planned in such a way that you would not know. So as usual, मैं सुबह मंदिर गया. In Allahabad temple, just I was in 11 SSB, just beside. Subah 5 baje they put some songs of Krishna ji, and we woke up to that. Then we went to a temple में गया. शिव जी है, कृष्ण जी है, राम जी है, then गणेश जी है. सबको मैंने I took the blessings. Every day I used to go. Every day morning I used to go do the same thing there. Then I came. I went to conference as usual. During conference, there is a speech given by the IO or additional IO, and apparently I got to know that my interviewing officer, he gave the speech. The conference speech before the conference. Okay. He was from Army Defense. He was a lieutenant. He was a colonel.
Okay.
And at that time I got to know that is why he asked me so many questions on electrical EC, because he was an engineer himself. And he gave, as usual, Abdul Kalam speech. Sachin Tendulkar, those people gave. Amitabh Bachchan, they gave SSBs, but they couldn't recommend it. But they made very good thing in other places. We started by that, and obviously no one gave attention to that. Everyone was focused on results. Since repeaters were, test number 1 to 9 started 1, gone 2, gone 3, gone for test number 4. It was 45 minutes. Okay. He was made to sit 25 minutes before conference. Then again inside they grilled in for another 20-25 minutes. I was very happy कि मेरा friend तो, if he come to the doubtful scenario, I was happy. He had it in him because he was very lively throughout the SSB. And मैं सोचा he had that in him. Then 4 के बाद कुछ नहीं, पट 5 2 minutes सब लोग जा रहे हैं कि अंदर जा रहे हैं कि हो गया सर, स्टे. सब लोग बोल रहे भाई स्टे स्टे अच्छा गया. How was your stay? You enjoy the process? What are the 3 suggestions that you give to Allahabad? Then gone. Test number 7 came. Test number 8 came. मैं सोच रहा था कि यार कि I would have done better. मैंने के लिए एटलीस्ट 5 मिनट तो रुकवाएंगे. there was a JCO sir was sitting near the desk near the conference bell. साहब से बोला साहब टाइम क्या है साहब, मैंने पूछा. He told now the time is 11:30. मैंने सोचा हाँ भाई टाइम रखूंगा ताकि मेरे को भी याद आएगा कि मेरे को कितना how much minutes will I make them stay outside and how much time will I get inside if I was doubtful case.
Right.
मैं हमेशा टाइम पूछ रहा हूँ, मेरा बजर रिंग हो गया 11:30 बाहर नहीं आया. लाइक जस्ट नंबर 9. मैंने बोला हाँ छोड़ो यार, अभी उम्मीद ही चला गया कि हाँ अभी डाउटफुल तो भी नहीं हो सकता हूँ मैं अभी इधर डन एंड डस्टेड और समथिंग. Then I went inside. I wished the president good morning sir. He was like good morning Yashwant. So Yashwant how was your stay? I was like how was your stay? तब मन में आ गया था अरे यार फिर से so it was the same thing, everyone is going okay. मैंने सोचा कि हाँ यार अभी sir everything was good sir. What are the 3 things that you learned here? I told teamwork, working under pressure. You told working under pressure. आपने तो recommend हुआ अभी काम भी कर आपका, you have done lot of things outside. No
Right.
sir, here everybody working towards only one goal to get recommended. So pressure तो थोड़ा ज्यादा ही रहेगा sir इधर. So then he told okay any suggestions for Allahabad SSB. मैंने बोला there is no suggestion sir. मैंने बोला thank you Yashwant go. तो मैंने बाहर आ गया. मैंने बोला सबने पूछा कैसे गया, मैंने बोला जैसे आप लोगों का गया भाई 2 मिनट का था, अंदर 3 क्वेश्चंस तो जब फोन they were giving us phones. हम देख रहा था कि इलाहाबाद से बैंगलोर कब वापस आए एंड हाँ ट्रेन कौन सा है, ट्रेन भी नहीं मिल रहा है, फ्लाइट तो कल परसों के लिए था, फ्लाइट भी नहीं था. हम सोच रहे थे कि हाँ भाई फिर से दिल्ली जाना पड़ेगा, फिर दिल्ली से बैंगलोर जाना पड़ेगा, सब बुकिंग के लिए तैयारी हो रहा था. फिर बिकॉज फ्रेशर्स में भी देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल हु आर केप्ट इनसाइड फॉर 30-35 मिनट्स ग्रिल किए थे, इंटरव्यू लिए थे. फिर आ गए रिसर्च के टाइम पे जीटीओ सर आए. And this is the GTO where he told more about life rather than telling about what Amitabh Bachchan and Abdul Kalam would have been done. He told that how to work for SSBs. In the first GTO when I told that how we can work for, he told me that go read newspapers, go be physically fit. That is what army officers want. Army is full of adventure activities. There is not 1 minute where you're sitting quiet in army. Make yourself adaptable to your life, that you are busy in your life doing practical things which is helpful for shaping our life. Be physically active, mentally active. So he told nothing. I was very happy. हाँ भाई boost हो गया. तो जो उम्मीद whatever the things after conference, the very low mood, that speech that gave me the boost up. हाँ भाई next time कर लेंगे. Then he opened the file. Okay gentlemen, now I'll call up the names. Please come here and stand beside me. Then starting chest number 9. मैंने बोला
It was your
हाँ मैंने chest number 4 तो आना होगा, मेरा नाम बोल दिया, chest number 5 chest number 9 बोल दिया. Then I was like okay, I stood. Then he told please clap for him. मैं एकलौता repeater था entire batch से. Then he called 3 other freshers. 3 other freshers were also recommended for the same thing. So we were 4 people who were recommended. Then obviously the documentation and all happened. Then obviously medicals. Trust me, Allahabad is it's not a rejection center for SSB. It is a rejection for medicals. Trust me. And I'm personal experience I'm telling. Please be medically fit in Allahabad, because even a minute difference you're getting rejected there. And to be honest, in Allahabad there is misconception of it's a rejection center. I've seen batches of people 5, 6, 11 rejected in a single batch. In my tenure, October, November, December, there was women's SSC TECH batch where 12 people got recommended out of 26 people, 50% recommendation.
wow.
So there is, see, if you have OLQs, it is for sure that you are getting recommended. There is no one to stop you.
Exactly.
There is no one to stop. So that's why I tell, please be medically fit, please be physically fit, and please be mentally fit.
Exactly.
All the three things, that will give you more confidence, that will give you more edge of getting recommended. And it is very easy things to adapt these things. It is very easy to wake up in the morning and go for a run.
Exactly.
It is easy for us to socialize and talk about things. So these are things which doesn't require money. It requires, our time. That's it.
So Yashwant, moving to one of my favorite question is that what was the feeling of scoring all India rank 1? Because scoring all India rank 1 is dream for most of the aspirants. I would say all the aspirants. And what was the reaction of your family when they get to know that you have scored all India rank 1?
To be honest, we had made a recommended guys group. हम छोटे कर रहे थे कि no, दिस बंदा तो AIR-1 होगा, एक बंदे बोल रहे थे भाई ऑल इंडिया रैंक ही नहीं चाहिए, बस मेरी ज्वाइनिंग लेटर मिल जाए, बस अंदर चला जाए खा पिए, वी वर वेटिंग, वन बाय वन दे वर सेटिंग द मेरिट लिस्ट, और एक दिन आ गया मेरिट लिस्ट, मैंने देखा ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1। आई वॉज इन क्लाउड 9 दैट डे, मैं बस बैडमिंटन खेल के बाहर आ रहा था इन ट्रैफिक, मिडल ऑफ बैंगलोर ट्रैफिक, मैंने गाड़ी खड़ा, गोइंग फ्रॉम बैडमिंटन टू होम, ऑल इंडिया पूरा क्लाउड 9, नेक्स्ट लेवल क्लाउड 9, ना आई वाज फुल, adrenaline rush आ गया पूरा अंदर, yes, finally achieve, I wanted to achieve from a very long time, in a very big platform like this, where 6 lakh aspirants write examination, to get recommended, then medically fit, then coming into merit, really, one rank 1, I, gone through my, hard work, all the, perseverance, hard work, all the things that I put in myself here to come to that level, that was all, paid off.
Exactly.
And something, which I didn't do something which I wanted to get rank 1, but rather than that, I did better than the best in all the tasks that were given, all the exams that were given. That is a major push, which I got to be in all India rank 1. Obviously, then I sent my parents, my father and mother, they were really happy. Obviously, Indian parents being Indian parents, society के लिए ज़्यादा बोलने से, they are very profound when telling all those things. All my friends, relatives called me, congratulating me, and I was really happy at that moment. But yet, my father told me this one thing: see, this is not the end of your journey, because this is where it starts.
Exactly.
You started getting all India rank 1 in some examination, and you're going to start your journey right now. And now, if you start getting good, now it is the high time, you start inculcating that, getting to be the top in all the things, and definitely, our life will be very easy. And he told me that, this is the way someone should be. Either you come all India rank 1, 10 or 100. It is that you are there right now. That is your capability. For example, my dad, this is your capability right now. So please ensure that your capability always goes exponentially high, not down. Learn new things, adapt to different situations. This is how, my dad gave me, a very good, lesson for me, which I will keep in mind going on forward to, all my aspects of my journey, to be at the top, because once I have given my ambition, I have to give more, 20% more anytime next time. So that is what I will carry upon my entire life.
Yashwant, even we are very proud of you. You have seen failures, you have seen success as well. So there are many aspirants who are watching this video, and they might be facing screen outs, conference out, maybe merit out, medical out. So they are facing right now failures, right? So any message you want to give to those people who are watching this video?
See, the first thing I would want to give is a very practical. Please don't take it in a bad way for all the aspirants. See, many people would get screened out or conference out. It is true that you might not be fit for the armed forces or something, because you are doing really, really well in other things. Maybe a really good coder can be a very good coder, but can't be a good soldier. A very good soldier can't be a very good coder.
That is
because I spend my life in athletics, in adventure activities, then it is good for me to continue in this, because I'll be doing the same thing there. But if I done my whole life, studying, really doing really well, studying so very high IQ, then UPS is a thing for me. I can study well and become an IAS officer.
Exactly.
There are different aspects in being in a very beautiful country like India. The opportunities everywhere.
Exactly.
For all the youths, I'm telling you, and for all those aspirants who have the zest to go to armed forces, right? Failures are always there, guys. Now failures, the more you put down, the more you get a very, very, very high, very, very strong. And it is very good that you're seeing those failures, because next time nobody will repeat it. And because you have seen that, you will become a more better person. You will mend yourself more. And the best advice someone could give us post SSB, it is highly recommended to introspect once. To ask questions to each other, where did I go wrong? Asking from the beginning, is it a thing for me? And if it is a thing for me, it is the only thing for me, then how would I do it? And for all the new aspirants, for example, they'll tell that I have the zeal to go to army, but I don't have those OLQs. OLQs are very easy to adapt. Right. Go start running, go socialize, go do all the things, go to NGO, play sports, play team sports, go to a debate, go give a speech, be friends with your family. All these things, which it's very easy things to inculcate these OLQs.
Right.
And if you're coming to, giving to SSB, right? The thing is, you have the determination to become an officer in the Indian Armed Forces, and there is only a borderline thing which affects you from actually getting recommended and not getting recommended. So
Right.
it is very high if you're getting screened out, because don't worry, if you're getting screened out, that means that definitely you will bounce back very much higher, and you will bounce back only higher when you work hard for it. Trust me, guys, there is no shortcut for it. Don't expect that you just go sit there, you get recommended. No, it's not possible.
Right.
It's never possible. Not in SSB, in every part of your life.
Mhm.
Hard work is the only thing, hard work, determination is the only thing which pushes you. And the more hard work, the more time you give for yourself, the more motivated you are, the more determined you are, then only you can pass examinations, maybe SSB, maybe UPSC. And coming to SSB, trust me, you have to be mentally fit, you have to be physically fit, and you have to be theoretically fit. Practically also you have to be very well versed. And these are the things required for becoming an armed forces officer. And if you're getting screened out, go work hard, come bounce back higher, get recommended. There is one of my friends who got recommended 26th time, guys. 26th time. Can you understand this? 26th time he's getting recommended. And trust me, I was very happy for his journey, what he went through.
Mhm.
Now, they are both from different backgrounds. One is physical fitness background, and one is from a coding background. And from 22nd, 24th attempt, the both together, it goes up to 50, 50 attempts together they're given.
Right.
And one guy who got 22 attempts, that means that he had never given up. And these 22 attempts are the steps where he learned. They are not the failures.
Mhm.
So the steps we inculcated is OLQs. And finally, he's coming with me to OTA. And trust me, we are on the same page, guys. No one is big or no one is small here. Getting recommended once, twice, thrice, or recommended 100 times, because in the end, you're becoming an officer.
Exactly.
And you're all on the same page. That is what, please don't ever give up. Please do hard work, be determined, be focused on your goals. Everything will come to get aligned. It starts with simple steps of aligning your basic minute changes in your lifestyle. SSB is that kind of a thing where you have to adapt your lifestyle, then that will be very easy for you, not just reading books. So I would recommend all those aspirants who are wanting to don the uniform, please inculcate these things in your life, and trust me, no one would stop getting you guys recommended.
Yashwant, moving to an end, we wish you all the very best. Keep the spirit high, and we are just waiting for the day when you're going to have stars on your shoulders. And even you are going to the academy, but throughout this journey, when I got to interact with you, I literally enjoyed your journey, and I wish you achieve many successes. And it was a lovely session with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Shita, for giving me this opportunity, to give a few words about this experience to the crowd, which would definitely benefit them. At the same time, I would give you all the best, in your career and your endeavors, so that you also can fly very, very high. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video, and let me know in the comment section below if you have any doubts. Follow for more such content. Jai Hind.